Hello! Welcome back to the Ephemeral Arts YouTube channel. I'm Imogen and this video is going to be a little wrap up of my reading in July. This month was a pretty small month reading wise for me. I read 4 books, a collection of poetry and 3 fiction, which is really unusual for me. I'm usually like 20 to 30% split non-fiction and fiction. So this was strange. I have been reading 2 books of non-fiction on the side, both of which are kind of self-helpy things. The Artist's Way and Feel It All by Casey Tanner. I'm really excited to talk about these ones in an upcoming video, so let me know if that's something that you're interested in seeing. Let's get started. These are the 4 books that I read, all quite slim. I did also DNF a book. I read 25 pages of it, and the first couple of pages were like, yes, incredible, very punchy, great topics, I related to the content, and then it just suddenly felt like it was pandering to me, and I was just like, ugh, no thank you anymore. And it was an ARC, so I got to very quickly throw it away without any guilt. Not throw it away, stop reading it. I put it in Street Library. Someone else might like it. Yeah, let's start with How to Fly by Barbara Kingsolver. Very strange last name. How to Fly in 10,000 Easy Lessons offers emotionally rich reflections on the practical, the spiritual, and the wild. I just don't... It wasn't emotional for me. It felt like it was trying to be emotional, but I wasn't getting any of the emotive qualities that I was hoping for, especially because the writing is quite good. I just think the subjects weren't for me. I didn't give it any stars because I didn't want to sway other readers from reading it, just because it wasn't my style. So that was that one. Next up was The Secret Lives of Church Ladies by Disha Filial. I should probably look that up. Will I look that up? No, I'm not going to look that up. The Secret Lives of Church Ladies explores the raw and tender places where Black women and girls dare to follow their true desires. With their secret longings, new love, and forbidden affairs, these church ladies are as seductive as they want to be, as vulnerable as they need to be, as unfaithful and unrepentant as they care to be, and as free as they deserve to be. It was a beautiful collection of short stories from a really incredible writer. I think she's only written... she's written a non-fiction book on co-parenting, which I think would be really beautifully written. I think it was written as a co-authored book as well, which I love the idea of. She really plays with styles in the short stories, so some of them are written just in first person. One of them is a letter, and it just has this back and forth in the letter that feels like you're sitting in a room with a group of people. It's called Dear Sister, and it's about these sisters whose dad has just died, and they're writing to the sister that they've just found out that they have to let her know that their dad is dead. And it was just, it felt amazing. It felt like you were sitting in that room, writing the letter, trying to decide if you should send it, and arguing about it, and the family dynamics were beautifully written, and you just really got it all. And then there's another one called How to Make Love to a Physicist, and it just starts with a question in each paragraph. It says, how do you make love to a physicist? And then she goes into following the writing. Then she just continues writing. Yep. I'm really good at explaining things, if you couldn't tell. That one was really beautiful. I love that style. And then there was also a someone was reading someone's diary, and on the other side was talking about their response to the diary and what was going on and how that made them feel. And then the next bit would just be another selection from the diary, and it was really good, incredible, very well written. And then there was another one that was, I think, just a list of instructions. It was great, incredible book, highly recommend. All sorts of, I could talk about it all day. Beautiful book. Okay. Next was The Virgin Suicides, which I feel like everybody who is alive knows The Virgin Suicides. And I knew about it and thought that I would know exactly what was happening in here, and I didn't. So, through the eyes of another quite hive-mindy group of people, group of boys this time, you're watching the Lisbon sisters live their lives, waiting with bated breath for something to happen, and it just holds you on the edge, like you're watching, waiting, holding your breath, and then as you let out this breath that you've held, it further sullies the air around them. And it was such an uncomfortable feeling, especially because you know what's going to happen in here. You know where it's going. You just don't know when or how. I thought it would be different. I still thought that the outcome would be changed. I still expected something else to happen, even though it's already been written. This book forces you to be complicit in the Lisbon sisters' lives, and you kind of have to take responsibility for that as you read. But I gave this 4.5 stars. Incredible book, highly recommend. Also recommend Sofia Coppola's movie of it as well. That was very beautiful. Definitely not as good as the book, but what movie is as good as the book? Okay, final book of the month, Rue by Kim Tway. God damn it, I looked this up. Okay. This book also was a very interestingly put together prose. Each kind of page, I guess, was a different vignette. So you had some that were quite short and then some that were a little bit longer. So it finishes on the next page and then it goes on to another vignette. And the final few sentences of one vignette would lead into the next. So this one says, after 3 months, it tilted so severely to one side that we all had to find new positions so sleeping women and children wouldn't slip into the plump bellies of their neighbours. And then the next vignette starts, in spite of all those nights when our dreams spilled onto the sloping floor, my mother still had high hopes for our future. So not exactly unrelated, but tied together by the final little sentences. And I just found that such a really nicely sloped way of reading. You just kind of drifted from one story and then into the next story. The writing was so good, so beautiful, very visceral. There was some really disgusting scenes, horrific. So this book follows an unforgettable journey from a palatial residence in Saigon to a crowded and muddy Malaysian refugee camp, and onward to a new beginning in Quebec. Moving seamlessly from past to present, from history to memory and back again, Rue is a book that celebrates life in all its wonders, its moments of beauty and sensuality, brutality and sorrow, comfort and comedy. It's so stunningly written. There's a lot of horrific events that take place in here, and they're written clearly and concisely, but they also they're really visceral, and you feel not disgust, but yes, disgust and horror at what's being experienced, but you also don't feel like the people who have written about this and are experiencing it, it's not the most important part, or the human. I don't want this to sound like I'm making light of the situation, or like that you should buckle up and not think of your horrific experiences as horrific, and if you just focus somewhere else you'll be fine. I just mean that the writing made it feel like the lightness of being alive was more important, not more important, but what should be focused on. And it was really good, just like so beautiful. Yeah, so the lyrical writing really described horrific images in a way that left you feeling sick with guilt, that this is what is being experienced in the world and that people are experiencing it and it's horrific. And yet it was contrasted with this pure joy and just the resilience of humans. I also really appreciated the kindness that was written into the book. It was beautiful. I highly recommend this book. I gave it 5 stars.
Okay. So my camera ran out of storage at that time, so here I am to finish the video off. I was really happy that it finished right as I was finished giving that my feedback. It's like perfect timing. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I'll be back next month with another review, but I think I am going to be releasing a sketchbook tour between now and then, and I'm hoping to actually have maybe another video out as well, but just have to do some editing. But I have finished up my job now, so I have all the time in the world. So yeah, I'll see you soon.